morning, traders. How's everybody doing this morning? We got some action. We got some action this morning, guys. Couple things moving around early. That's always a good sign. You got OTLK, the top runner right now this morning. How you guys doing, by the way? It's been on and out. I've been here and out the last couple days, all over the place. So, but I'm back here now. Um, you got this ATLK, you got a FDA designation, uh, and also it had its earnings yesterday. So it's moving around, guys. Over a million shares traded, almost 2 million shares traded actually. You got 1.8 million shares traded. Um, it's pretty active this morning. Again, it's on some news. So you have a catalyst. Um, Bear with me, guys. It's looking like the connection is kind of slow. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, that's the number one gainer runner right now. Came from it closed near the 90 cent area, and it has made highs of 134, 133 from the 134 area. Currently at 127. Yeah, guys. So it's a good one to watch. It's been holding up pretty well. It's on a pretty decent uptrend here, which you can see clearly. It's making new highs. I'm sorry, higher lows. And for a while, it was making higher highs. Got a little small. Uh, yep. So anyway, guys, that's the one to watch. And if that's something we're watching, then that's something everyone is watching. You know what I mean? So do you want to be where everybody else is as far as liquidity wise? You know what I mean? The stock being liquid. So this one is that. So you definitely shouldn't have a problem getting in and getting out. You see the spread here is the spread is very tight. That's like one of the number one indicators of a highly liquid stock. It's not always the case, but a lot of times, you know what I mean. It's not always the case because sometimes you'll have you'll have it tight like this, and then as soon as this gets taken out, or as soon as this gets taken out, the spread opens up big time. So seeing that a lot too. So um, again, guys, what did I tell you about this here? All right, so you got well in this case it's on both sides, so it's you can't make I can't make the point I was gonna make, but I'll explain that later on about the time it sells and the large size. All right, the next one over is MBIO. This one is also on news. This is the one that I'm sorry had the FDA designation. Um, let's see, it's bouncing around, but it's kind of you see this tall wick here. That's usually not a good sign here. Not to say that the stock won't break out, but it means it couldn't even hold, um, its levels at all. You know what I mean? It didn't close near the top. It didn't close near the middle. It closed near the bottom as soon as it went up. So that means usually it means some big selling, and then you see the tall volume wick. So it means as soon as people try to buy this up, someone behind the scenes or market makers or shorters or whatever the case may be were selling into the buying, and it couldn't last. So that's usually a sign that that's gonna be bearish. You never know. Seeing stranger things in the market. It still could shoot up, but the probability is that it's gonna go down. So I'll just watch that one. It would definitely have to get over that 440 area. Actually, I would want to get higher than that. I would want it to get over 450, 460 for me to be convinced that it's going to continue higher. All right, guys, that has over 100 shares traded, 100,000 shares traded. So, and this is pre-market 8:30, so that's pretty good liquidity there. Good volume for the time. Next one down, I was looking at, which this is not much going on here. These stocks, as you can see, only has 14,000 shares, but it did have news and it did gap up. That's what caught my attention. So they're having a collaboration agreement with Merck. So it's a collab. They're agreeing with another company to get some things done. So it's a collaborative effort. So some news there. It's moving around, up, down. Let's see here. Is anything else popping up? Yeah, guys, I'm back though for a minute. Um, Trying to find some stocks to play, guys. I was watching the markets yesterday, um, and I saw a couple that. See, what it is I like I said, I've been going for a while. I was a little rusty. Anytime I take a break, I notice I come back and I'm usually, rusty on my first one trade or sometimes two trades. So what I try to do now is before I even get back into it, I kind of just do simulation trades, in my mind, and I would mark them where I would have gotten in and whatnot, just to kind of see where I am now. You know what I mean? So I did that yesterday, and almost every trade I did it on, it did exactly what I had anticipated it to do. So I think I'm ready today to go ahead all in on something, scale into something, scale out. But yeah, definitely because I what I used to do is if I had a week or 2 week off or 2 weeks that I'm gone or away from the market or whatever the case may be, where I have a hiatus, I notice when I come back, and even when I do trade, usually after a long weekend, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, or a Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, and then you come back Tuesday, and even sometimes just after the 2 days, I just come back, and I don't know if it's because I'm anticipating the market too much to where I'm just too anxious, but then I make the wrong trades. You know what I mean? Because I'm just so anxious to make a trade and be back in the market. So to combat that, now what I do is I try to when I come back I try to I discipline myself enough to say nope, don't trade. Let's just do some simulation trades, see if everything is still working and the strategies are still up to par, and your mental state is still is up to par. That's the most important thing. Is your mental state, is that up to par? Um, so yeah, and then I'll from there I'll see if I can trade or whatever the case may be. But yesterday it worked. Yesterday everything I chose, it did what I thought it would do. Yesterday you had what was it? I've actually lost the list of plays from yesterday. I didn't save it. Rather, I didn't lose them, but I didn't save them. And anytime you close out, think of swim, it'll save your last configuration. But I had emptied all of this out. Usually I leave them in there. But I forget what it was yesterday. But anyway, it was a couple. Oh yeah, one of them was man, this was an easy play, and I missed it. Well, I didn't miss it. I was just doing my analysis. But man, TC short. This thing was picture perfect. This thing just fell at the bell. It just fell. It fell from 950, and I was watching it as it happened. I'm like, wow, I should have taken the trade, but I'm just trying to get myself readjusted. Fell from 950 all the way down to pretty much 750, all in about 10 to 15 minutes, man. $2, $2 whole. So that was one that I was watching, and I'm like, I saw a short opportunity there, but I just I wasn't take I didn't take it. So, but yeah, so that's basically what's been going on, guys. Let's see what else is going on here. Yeah, Uber. Well, the market is kind of recovering, even though you have the trade talks going on, and the trade war, as so to speak, between China and the U.S. and each one, going back and forth with the other. The market is still holding its ground. Actually, I guess seems to be the sentiment seems to be that the American people are actually, they like that. They like that. I guess that he's being stern with China. This is the sentiment, based on the market going up. This is just speculation here, guys. Nothing factual. Nothing. It could be, but it's just my opinion. But anyway, the market is responding pretty well to it. It's basically at the end of the day what I mean. It fell down pretty hard, yesterday, but it's recovered nicely ever since so far. Um, let's see, Uber. I've been watching Uber. I honestly can see Uber bouncing up, guys. I said it on the day of the IPO. I made a video, but it didn't. For some reason, it got deleted, or I deleted it by accident. But I said during the IPO, I had a live video up, and I said that I watched this for a short-term long play, a short-term long play. Playing it on the long side. I could see it. It opened at 45, so I think that's pretty reasonable. It could have been a little lower, like in the 20s or whatever, but 45 is a fair price, I think, compared to Lyft, which started in the 80s. So you knew that was gonna go down. You know what I mean? You knew that Lyft was gonna go down because it started too high. It started in like $80, 80 something dollars. So let's see here. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, it started at like 80 something. So you just knew that was just overpriced. For a company that wasn't showing any profits, net profits. And same with Uber. Actually, Uber is saying they already said that they're not profitable at the moment. But like I was saying during that IPO, heck, if they should be getting close to being profitable with all the money they made on that IPO, because oh man, all that buying, it was like 100 and something million shares traded, and it kept going down. So what does that mean? They're selling like crazy to the people that were buying it like crazy. Now I think now that they're out of the way, or a lot of the insiders are getting out of the way. Is making room for it to go. So I honestly think it can go higher from here. How high? That's all up to our imagination. But it's gonna go higher than the 45. I can see it going to. Hey, we used to talk. We in the day trading world, we talk about the half dollars and whole dollars, right? Well, I'm gonna say it's gonna go to the half 100. It's gonna hit at least 50. Um, Half of 100, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But it's gonna definitely give you $5, I think, from the $45 area. All right. Now, once it gets up to that 45, keep in mind if it get once it gets to the 44, 45, I think it's gonna be a little resistance. Why I say that is because you're gonna have the bag holders. The ones who got in at 445. I'm sorry, at 45. And as soon as they get an opportunity to get out, if it hits 45, 50, or 46, they're getting out, because they're just happy for it to come back up. So it's going to be playing around a lot when it does get to that 40, when it gets to those original levels, because you do have bag holders, people who've been holding it. Um, you got to remember things like that. So it's going to be interesting in the next couple days, weeks, months. I'm betting that it's gonna at least go up. It's not gonna go straight down like Lyft and Pinterest, and all those others. Though it reminds you of the .com bubble. You know what I mean? With all of these, um, angel companies, these huge new app companies. You got the apps. Uh, so anyway, guys, yep. OTLK is the number one, but if you see how it moves, that's why I don't normally play these dollar stocks like that, because you see every cent is a fight. 127, 128. Look how hard it's fighting to. It got up to 130, I think, but it was 129. But look how much volume has to come through, and it supposedly is 11 million shares. That's it doesn't move like that. So I would beg to differ, but that's what you get a lot of stocks. A lot of stocks say that, but like I said before, and if you look at some of my old videos, you watch how the price action works. That's what you watch. Don't worry about the float because I've seen some stocks that had over 100 million shares in the float, 200 million shares in the float, and it moved like a million share float stock. It was up and down easily. Then on the flip side, I see many stocks that supposedly have like 10 million shares, 15 million shares, but they move like they're a billion share float stock. You know what I mean? It moves one little cent at a time. So I don't necessarily go directly on the float. It does matter most of the time, but there are a lot of exceptions. So you can't make that like your cut and dry rule because sometimes you can get a stock with a high float that moves just or even easier than a stock like this right now. Yeah, but it could go up or whatever the case may be, but I just don't like the way it moves. It moves too slowly for me, for my taste. So I'm not gonna be playing this one. There's not saying it's not gonna be opportunity in it. There's plenty of opportunity, but I'm just gonna stay away from it. You got Nokia, but that's a super high float stock. I've been seeing that continue to pop up. It keeps making new highs. But look at it though. It's nothing. It's like, yeah, exactly. It's nothing here. Let's see what else is going on, guys. That's one of the highest active stocks, over $3. But look at it, it's not doing anything. So I'll skip over that. BOXL is falling pretty hard from the $4 area all the way to $3. So anybody holding that sucker overnight, long, it's a hard wake up this morning. But if you got in short, you're waking up in the money, man. What they call that passive income there, buddy. You're making money while you sleep. MBIO, as I said, and just what I told you it would do is heading lower. First of all, it's under all of and that's something else I've noticed, but I'll talk about that later. This last 2 days, I've noticed a lot of stocks making moves that are all around the daily moving averages. They're all under them, and this is not the only one. I've noticed like about 20 of them, 30 of them. The ones that are getting active right now, it's like they're all in unison right now. Like whoever's in control of this is trying to get all of these above their moving averages or whatever. Maybe for a later time, maybe to set it up for the summer or set it up for winter. I don't know, but a lot of them are like this, where you see all of these moving averages coming together. See all of these moving averages here, all these colorful things here. A lot of them are too, and that's one thing you want to watch when you're trading these stocks, guys. Is if the stock is crowded, I mean, if the moving averages is crowding where the candles are, I personally don't play them because it's just too much traffic, too much resistance in the way, too many things. It's many times where you see the stock jump over all of that stuff. You know what I mean? But for the most part, it's just too much going on, guys. So that's another bullish sign here. But like I said, the main one was looking at the wick, this long, tall wick. It couldn't hold at all. I mean, some stocks, they'll hold for a little bit before they fall off. But if it can't even hold for a little while, then that's usually a sign that whoever's in there, they just want to hurry up and sell their shares. You know what I mean? They want to sell them. It could be insiders. It could be company employees. With stocks. you'd have to look at the fundamentals to know exactly when they can exercise their shares, but it could be a number of things. It could be market makers, could be shorters, but whatever the case, someone saw that it went up above where its average is, and they sold their shares on to the people that bought into it on the news. So anyway, that's how I explain that. But I'll just make it quick. It's just a long wick, and that right there is a bullish sign to me. I'm sorry, a bearish sign. So I already said it earlier in the video. This one I'm not watching too closely. I'm expecting it to go down further, but if you want to look for long, wait for it to get over this high of the pre-market. So over 440, you would look to go long. All right. So this OTLK is starting to kind of make a move here, but you see every cent though. It has like 100. It has 17,000 shares on the bid on the ask. Uh, so it's moving, but it's one of those ones where you gotta kind of hold it for a while. It's not gonna be like a quick in and out within 1 minute type deal. If you know to make 20 30 cent, you may get 20 30 cent, but it's a fight. It's a battle every penny. So you're gonna have to get in and buckle down and hold this one for a little while. Well, that looks like it's about it, guys. I'm not gonna hold you guys up. Um, Let me just take one more look before I get out of here. VKTX has popped up on a, but that's not anything going on there. Nothing going on there. PGNX, all these are higher float, so I don't expect much movement out of these. All right, so that looks like it's it for right now. You know, anytime, any given time, or any given moment, something can pop up. So as soon as I shut this feed down, something can pop up right after that, or at 9 o'clock, or whatever at the bell. But as of right now, the plays to watch is MBIO, OTLK, which that's the number one on watch, and that's pretty much it for now. If I were to take a trade, give you my trading plan. If I were to take a trade on any of these, I would need for this to have a pullback, uh, and then, well, actually for this one, I just have to see it holding up above that VWAP pretty good. It came below it, but it seems like it's trying to hold it now. So I would need it to hold it, and I would get in, near the pullback to it. And if I see that it's showing strength going back up, that's the plan there. So basically, for me, wait for a pullback. It may go up from here. It might go up to like 135, 140, and then come to the VWAP and go back. But I would need it to come to the VWAP before I touch it. As far as MBIO, that one would have to hit new highs, new pre-market highs, which I don't think is going to happen. But if it does, that's one to keep on watch. I still would be iffy about it, being that it had this long wick here. But if you're gonna play it, I would wait for it to show strength. A lot of volume coming in, going over that 440. That to me would tell me uh, that it wants to go higher. All right, guys. Until next time, I'll see you later.